All right, welcome to Super Real Estate Sunday. I want to welcome every one of you guys. I need you to know that we've got some wonderful information regarding grants, grants to help you purchase land. You know, we often talk about graduating to land ownership. This portion of when we do videos on Super Real Estate Sundays is dedicated to those who are interested in graduating to land ownership, interested in expanding their real estate portfolio to include include land, meaning that you may already own property, but you want to add some land to your portfolio. Or maybe you've never purchased real estate ever, but you want to start to flip land. You want to purchase land and you want to flip it. Listen, it's an opportune time to do that. Matter of fact, when you purchase land with the intent of flipping it, there's one thing you have to consider, and that is, unlike purchasing a land with an improvement on it or a home, with that home, you may have to make some improvements, right? You may have to make some repairs, some modifications. But when you purchase land, you just repurpose it, put it back on the market, and flip that baby. Listen, I did one recently. Well, it's been over a year now, where I sold a piece of land, 39 acres, to a developer. But before he decided to develop it, what he did was place it into lots. He started to sell it per lot, which gave him a huge profit, actually. It was a huge profit that was involved. So I just want to tell you that land is very versatile. And the one thing about it is that it's a very valuable commodity. Why? Because they're not making any more land, baby. So listen, as we talk about ways to help you purchase land, we want to extend what we were talking about on last week and talk a little bit more about how you can get the financing. So there are some grants that are available. We've already talked to you about the Farm Service Agency called USDA that provides the loans to those individuals that are unable to qualify for commercial credit. We talked about those, okay? And those are farm ownership loans. Gives you an opportunity to purchase land for farming or agricultural purposes or development in that direction. And they provide the grants for you. We also talked about the Rural Development Grant. And that one helps to provide for funding for housing, community facilities, utilities, business development in rural areas. And these grants can support land acquisition whenever it's tied to a project that's going to enhance rural communities, because they're trying to expand the rural communities, okay? It also helps you, like if you're building affordable housing or renewable energy facilities in rural areas. So today we're going to talk about the Conservation Easement Program. So when we talk about conservation easement, Natural Resource Conservation Services offer programs like agricultural conservation easement programs. You may see the acronym ACEP, which provides financial assistance to landowners who purchase or they want to protect the land for conservation purposes. I think we may have talked about this one in the last recording as well. So it's, if there's wildlife there and you want to conserve or preserve that area and protect it, there's funding for that. So this property, this type of program also helps land that maybe has wetlands, you know, or grasslands. And so what they do is they provide funding that will help you preserve those wetlands or even farmland. Yeah. So it, you know, it's offering a cost share funding for restoration and development. You can look that up at LandCan, LandCan. Okay. So another program that's available that you may want to take a look at is the Time Land Purchase Grant. This program supports nonprofit organizations and conservation groups in acquiring land for conservation and environmental protection. So while it's not aimed at individuals, it plays a crucial role at enabling communities to secure land for sustainable development and for any type of preservation in terms of the ecosystem. Okay, so I talked to you before about this, and what I said to you was that you and your community that you form can create a corporation, a C corporation preferably. That corporation can be established as a nonprofit organization. You don't always have to. Now, you want to look into this, but it's true. You don't always have to have a 501(c) to be designated as nonprofit. Yeah. If you want to know more about that, you want to take that Easy Corporate Comprehensive Curriculum for New Business Owners. If you get involved with certain type of entities, you don't always have to have your 501(c) to be considered nonprofit. And that's more for, I'm trying to get the book so you can see the manual that goes along with it. That's more, we expound on that in this class. Easy Corporate Comprehensive Curriculum for New Business Owners. Yeah, we concentrate on those type programs in this teaching. So it's not just the book, but it's a course that comes along with Easy Corporate Comprehensive Curriculum for New Business Owners. I know that you guys have this book, Homeownership Pre-Planning, and much, much more. This is purchase power for business owners. And so this book would help you in correlation with this particular grant. Again, Homeownership Pre-Planning, and much, much more. All of these books you can pick up on Amazon. Now, we teach a course that comes along with them. This course is free. This is a paid course. Easy Corporate Comprehensive Curriculum for New Business Owners. If you're interested in this course, you can pick it up on Amazon, the book, the workbook. And you can find out more about the course if you just Google Easy Corporate Comprehensive Curriculum for New Business Owners. It'll come up with all of the curriculum that we teach you involving that course. And one of the things that we teach is how you can actually be a organization, maybe without a 501(c), because sometimes people refuse that. They don't want that status, but it doesn't change the fact that they are a nonprofit organization. So with this group, and for this particular timed land purchase grant, you need to be an organization. You need to be a community. You could, as a community, form an organization, a C corporation. Yeah. And if you want to know more about that, go to grantsbuddy.com or reach out to me. Either way, whichever works for you. All right. The last thing we're going to talk about is the housing need-based grants. So there are certain grants that are focused on allowing low to moderate income individuals acquire land for residential development. Yeah, again, they're trying to expand the rural areas. So these programs often prioritize veterans, minorities, and people with disabilities. They want to make land, the objective is to make land ownership more accessible to the underserved populations. So the grant can cover down payments, or it can provide financial assistance for the land tied to housing projects. I want to make sure that you got that. Yeah, this grant will cover payments, down payments, or it can provide financial assistance to purchase land, especially if it's tied to some type of housing project. So if you're going to use it even to develop your own personal home, your own personal residence, specifically because it's basically established to help underserved individuals acquire land for residential development. Okay, I only have a short period of time for this Super Real Estate Sunday, so I'm just briefly going through these. If you want more information, you can always book an appointment with me. I'd be more than happy to talk to you about it, or you can go to grantsbuddy.com. All right, so there are a couple of more that I want to tell you guys about. However, I am out of time. I just need you to know that this is the time for you to expand into rural development, into land development, land ownership. Let's start firstly with land ownership. And these are some loans. These are some grants that have been made available to help you to extend your resources to land ownership. Okay. All right. Now, if you're just looking for something to help you develop There is an economic development fund that I want us to get into a little bit more the next time we get together. Alabama specifically, but a lot of states have it. They've got an economic development fund that's available. And what it does is it helps you to fund your infrastructure and site development. And this money can cover water, sewage, road improvements, even land related costs, if it's tied into some type of business expansion or job creation in the rural areas. Yeah. And so the grant has a financial ceiling on it. I think it's like somewhere around $400,000. Right. And you need to make sure that somehow in your development that you are including job development or expanding and creating jobs. If you want to know the requirements for those job commitments, you can go to the Alabama Department of Economic Development. Yeah. And check that out. But not just Alabama. A lot of states have a economic development association or department. You want to always go to that particular state's Department of Economic Development so that you can find out more about what's available in your state to expand you and give you the opportunity to acquire land. Well, I'm Jacqueline Battle. I'm with National Land Realty. I am a land professional, and I'm reminding you that this is the best time to purchase real estate. That's right. Look me in my eyes. It's the best time to purchase real estate. And you know, I've told you before why it's the best time to purchase real estate. You want me to remind you? All right, I'll remind you. It's a buyer's market. It's a seller's market. Baby, it's your market. Call me today.